What's up, guys? You know, I was so hyped to talk about this movie, and I just feel like it. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this right now because I was hoping to feel different, and I don't. But we're going to be talking about Candyman, the brand new movie. And first off, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Come back with your own reviews, also with your own comments. What were you thinking about it? And I'm just going to be real honest on it as well. And again, first off, I was excited for a new Candyman film. I was very excited. I was hoping to see something different. I was also very happy that Candyman was coming back. I was so happy to see, Tony Todd return as the legendary horror icon himself. And what we see is in the entirety of the story is it takes place first off in the 70s, then it takes place in the present time of 2019, where originally this movie was supposed to be released in, but again, due to what was going on in the world, which again I don't want to say because I don't want to have no issues, but there was a lot of things where this kept getting pushed back. Now I will say there was really no one I recognized in this film other than Tony Todd. I think that was really the only person that I recognized. Now, we have where a character by the name of Anthony, who is a upcoming self-made artist, and what is happening throughout the entirety of the film is he is a struggling painter. He wants to do well. His girlfriend is an upcoming sales basically has to deal with the painting, with galleries and everything of that nature. Again, I don't know too much about that, so don't try to hate me too much, guys. But what we see in the entirety of the film is where he is severely trying to deal with not only his girlfriend being a little more susser than him, but also trying to find some type of influence. And then he hears the legend of Candyman, which this version is someone that was selling candy to kids, and and unfortunately, there was razor blades found in a girl's candy. She died. The cops found him, and one of the guys that he talked to was a witness to it. And just a lot of intense things happen. And what we find out is, again, there is a lot of things brought up into this, which, again, I'm going to get into later on. But throughout the story, uh, it was kind of hard to get into it because what we have is where he starts saying, of course, Candyman 5 times in the mirror. And again, the legend goes, if you summon him, he will kill you or around you, people around you. And what was real intense about this was that he, unfortunately, what was so crazy was he thought, oh, it's just a hoax, it's just BS, and then he starts changing after a bee bite or a bee sting, and he just starts changing, and then people start ending up dead after they start saying it, and then he starts believing more into the legend, and then finding out more about it, and then also finding out that something else that goes into one of the previous movies as well. So one of the previous movies does go into this film. First off, now I will say again, I was not expecting that. It's been such a very long time since I watched the original film that it had to deal with the original character by the name of Helen. And if you guys don't remember, she saved a little boy in the movie, and it comes to find out that this boy, Anthony, is the one she saved. And what it has to deal with is that with Candyman, because he starts showing like shedding of the skin, he starts like showing just different random, like his body is almost like just mutating into what Candyman was when he was originally killed. And what we see in this is, again, rather interesting that they brought up the original film, because I'm glad that they did. But it goes into where somehow or other Candyman keeps coming back to resurface, to be reborn. And every time when something happens in a certain era, that's when he returns. And this is the time when he's supposed to return, because due to who this man is, he somehow has a connection to Candyman, which we later find out that that was the baby that the character Helen saved. Everyone thought she was nuts, and she ended up saving the character when he was a child, and he was being hidden from him, as well as also his mother was trying to help hide him as well. So there's a lot of things in the film that we later find out that, again, okay, why is he so special? And then we later find out the reason why, as well as also how characters keep dying. He's trying to find out information, and then we also find out that he's basically going to try to be the reincarnate of Candyman, and again, all these people keep dying. He's wondering what exactly is going on, and the whole entire time you're wondering, okay, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And then finally you're like, oh, hey, this is the reason why, or that's the reason why. So you finally get answers to a certain degree, but at the same time, you really don't. And the entire time of the movie, I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and there was problems with this film. I will literally say that right now. Again, if you enjoyed this film, by all means. But at the same time, this was a real hard film for me to really wrap my head around. Again, I went online. I was trying to stay away from any kind of spoilers, any kind of reviews, trying to go in, keep my mind clear. And the only person I thought that really brought it was, I would say, the main character, the lead actor, and Tony Todd. They were really the only ones I feel that brought it in this film, because the entirety of the film was at the very end, where you realize that his body was being taken over by Candyman, and then he unfortunately was turning into him, and then he dies, and then his girlfriend unfortunately hears the legend, and she has no choice but to say the name herself, just so that way she can save her own skin. And then at the very end of it, it shows that, her boyfriend became Candyman, but then at the same time, you see Tony Todd's character, that he takes over as well. So there's a lot of things that will really confuse you. If you're not entirely sure about what's going on in this film, you have to pay attention to almost every single little detail, because again, you will miss something. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you will miss something. And then it shows where he takes over the essence / soul of this character, and that's how the movie ends, where it's just going to keep happening. It's just going to keep happening, and there's really apparently nobody's going to stop it. Now again, what were the issues I had with this film? A lot of the actors, I think they tried really hard. Again, I don't know if it was the acting, I don't know if it was the writing. It felt like they were trying too hard. To me, it didn't feel like it was a Candyman movie. It felt like it was a different movie, and that they were trying to make it something else. And again, it really made me wonder what exactly the original films had to deal with this one. And then they did bring a hint of what it could be, and then they finally reveal at the very end, like I said. But at the same time, there was a lot of issues in this film where they brought up a lot of things about race, and I'm going to say that right now, where they kept saying, oh, well, white people this and white people that. And again, Candyman has always been where race gets brought up, but at the same time, they really pushed like a certain ethnic or race was the problem, and that I think is what really hurt the movie. And I don't like when movies constantly want to bring that up, because I feel like it's not only taken away from the movie, but it's taken away from trying to enjoy a movie and trying to go into a movie and feel your thoughts, and you don't have to deal with any kind of problems, whether going on in your life, the real world, or whatever. And again, if you're wanting to bring a real life scenario into a movie, that's perfectly fine, but don't try to shove it down our throats. And again, it kind of felt like there was a good majority of the time where it was shoved down our throats about race, and about how, certain races did this or did that or does this or is looked down upon. And it was one of those where it's like, okay, I'll move on. I want to know about the next scene. I want to know what's going on with the story. And then they finally bring it up, this is the reason why, because Tony Todd's character got involved with a white woman, and it was against, the law back then, and how they chased him down and killed him, and in a very disgusting way. And it was a very disgusting way what they did to him. And they do bring that up like they did in the original film. And I'm happy that they kept true to the origins to a certain degree. It's just they changed it to where he kept constantly coming back, and you didn't understand the reason why. And the entire time, I didn't really care about none of the characters. I really didn't care about the girlfriend. I didn't care about the main lead character. I didn't care about really none of the characters. When none of the other characters started dying, I just didn't care. I just was like, okay, whatever. And I just was like, all right, come on, let's just move on, because I want to see what's going to happen in the film. And I was wondering, when is this movie going to end? Because I was so bored. I was so bored in this film. It was ridiculous, and I was waiting for the film to be over because I was that bored, and I did not like that. I did not like how this film made me feel so bored. And then when I looked it up in reviews, that there were so many bad reviews on this film, where it was like, oh, the story is like all, a roundabout manner, or it's like this or that. And again, it gives you mixed feelings of how to feel about this film, where you're wondering what's happening, you're trying to figure it out, and you really don't know how to feel about it. And again, they do bring a lot of things in this film where, again, it has to be brought up, but at the same time, you don't need to shove it down our throats. Again, there's a lot of connections that is made into previous films that is made into this film, which again makes sense, but at the same time, you don't have to shove it down our throats. So again, how would I rate Candyman 2021? I have to rate it honestly a 4.5 or a 4, and that's me being generous. There was parts in this I did enjoy. There's parts of this I did not enjoy. I think some of it was rather dragging. I did not get myself invested into this film until very late, till I would say where at the very close to the tail end of the film. I would say very probably third act is when I got more into the film, to where I was really involved of, okay, I want to know more about this character. I want to know more about why he's so special. And then you find out, you're like, oh, okay, now I know the reason why. And then it's like, okay, and then it pretty much just leaves with like a dangling hook, no pun intended, at the last part of the film of like, okay, this is what's going to happen, and is there room for another Candyman movie? Possibly, but at the same time, if there is or there won't be, I honestly don't want to see another Candyman film. I don't. I think this was a one and done film for me. Will I ever watch it again? I'm entirely unsure. I don't think I will watch this ever again. I think I will watch this probably way later on, maybe uh, if they try to make another one at some point in time. I may go back to the other films to rewatch them, to give myself more of a open mind, I guess. I don't know. Because again, I always enjoyed the Candyman films, but again, this just felt more like it was pushed onto a lot of things that was unnecessary. And again, that's my opinion. Some people may agree with me, some people may not. Again, if you have a problem with it, then I'm sorry. I just didn't enjoy the film. If you did, okay, great. Enjoy the film, watch the film. And again, this film's not for everybody. But what were your thoughts about this film, guys? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Was it okay? Did it suck? Was it just a horrible movie? What were your thoughts about it? I'd like to know down in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click notifications. As always, I'll see you guys on the next one.